So my neighbor found this Corolla at a yard sale. He got it for 500 bucks. It's a clean looking little car. I guess you'd call it a classic, being it's a 90, 91. Anyway, it's supposed to run, but it needs a fuel pump. He's already bought a fuel pump. That's it in the back window. He actually bought 2 fuel pumps. There's one between the 2 seats. And if we come in to the back seat zone, this is the sending unit. Some of them have the fuel pump right here on the sending unit. This one did not. Lots of rust. So, long story short, we got to pull the tank. That's what we're going to try right now. Get that fuel pump in. So here it is about 20 minutes later, and I got the tank out. And it's all rusty and crusty on the inside. It was the filler hose, that little hose, this line, and there were 2 other lines up here, and 2 straps. Not that bad of a job. Now I need to clean out some of that crust, rust, dirt, and get the fuel pump in there. So there's the pump. Looks like it's been on the bottom of the ocean for a while. It's super nasty in there. I'm gonna see if the neighbor just wants to get a whole new tank. So I'm back out with a Corolla project, and we pull this trunk lever, it pops the trunk. And inside the trunk, let's see, there's the old tank. Check this out. The new tank. We need to get that baby in and get it in soon. I've got to glue on some little pads. Get the fuel pump in. The hose is off of this one. This, that. Get those off and put them on the new one. Anyway, that's what we are working on today. And I can already hear me replying to your comments. Thanks for watching. Step 1 on the tank, I'm going to glue these rubber pads. Keep the tank from rubbing on the body underneath. When I say glue, that's silicone. I'll do that times 5. So I just took this spider off of the old tank, cleaned it up. I've got new gaskets to put on. There's a new gasket here. This came out of the old tank. This old, and every hole gets a new gasket and new screws. New gasket, new screws. I'm going to take off these old gaskets. I've already cleaned this up. I ran the air hose through all of these lines. It's now time to bolt it on. So the tank is coming together. These are all on. New screws, new gasket. New screws, new gasket. New screws, new gasket. Up next, the fuel pump. This is the fuel pump and the sending unit. As the gas goes up in the tank, this floats, tells you how much gas is in the tank. It goes in this hole, new gasket, new screws, and fuel pump will be going in this hole, new gasket, new screws, and new sock bag filter goes on the bottom of it. I got to clean up the bracket that goes on here, but other than that, it's coming together quick. As it starts to get dark, about to wrap this up, here is the old fuel pump. Here is the new fuel pump. I got the sock filter bag on. The wiring is on. I don't know how these don't short out under gas. Does gas not conduct electricity? Anyway, I've got them good and tight so there'll be no sparks, no explosions. And up next, we'll put the gasket in place, drop the pump in the hole, put the screws in, and call it a night. So the tank is fully assembled, everything's on, all the gaskets are in, all the screws are tight. The next time we work on it, we'll be putting the tank in, but not tonight. This is the very next time. The sun is back out. I got to spread out my tarp. Got to pop the trunk. And then we'll take this tank and slam it right under here. Those 2 straps, and I think it's 4 lines. Piece of cake, shouldn't take more than a few minutes. That's 2 10mm bolts. I got my socket set, my screwdriver. I'm ready to go under. I used a 10mm socket, a 14mm socket, 14mm open end wrench, 19mm open end wrench, pair of pliers, Phillips head, and flathead. That's it. Here on the inside of the car, under the back seat, I've got these 2 wires to plug in and 3 screws to put in. And here we have it. Up next, I'll put down the sound barrier, put the back seat back in. Gotta go start this thing up. Right here under the hood of Project Tanks a Lot, and yes, that is my lawnmower battery. It works fine. We're right in the middle right now changing out the fuel filter. Here's the new one. It goes right down here in this strap. There's a line that comes in the bottom. There's a line that comes out of the top. Nothing to it. Okay, this is the fuel line. I've got the battery hooked up. I'm gonna turn it over and see what happens. And you can also hear how good the battery does. So there was a little bit of gas shooting out. That could be the old gas. Maybe I need to flush that line out and put the filter back on, see if it'll start up. It's a good sign. There's the old filter. The new filter is installed. I'm gonna go hit the key, see what happens. So now the new filter is on. We're gonna hit the key. That's something. Time for a new air filter. How much was that tank in the filter? I mean the fuel pump?
The tank was $106. The fuel pump was roughly $20. I got it online. It's still on the computer.
So about $526 you got a car.
That would cost more to register than anything.
Yeah. What was the air filter costing?
$20.
$546. You got a car.
That ain't bad.
And the tires look really good, but severely dry rotted. So now probably an oil change is next. It needs 4 new tires and maybe even a set of matching hubcaps. He's already bought tag and insurance for it, so you may see this one on the road real soon. Camry update, the neighbor's been driving it on the road for a month or 2 now. He's put 4 new tires on it. There's been an oil change, new battery, new air filter. Here's the rest of the tires. And to finish up this project, he wants a receiver hitch on it. Went to a junkyard and found this receiver hitch on an old Camry. What are the chances? And the bumper already has threaded holes that the bolts go into. So I've got everything we need. We're going to stick this on there and call this project done. Oh, and a little teaser. I just picked up a truck last night. Needs an engine. That might be in future videos if I don't flip it. Here are the 2 factory threaded holes where the receiver hitch mounts. I got to cut through this little metal bracket here, and the other 2 are under this bumper cover. The hitch is now in place. I got to tighten up the bolts, and I got to put on this piece that holds the bumper cover back on. Had to cut out the center section. Piece of cake. Using a big wrench as my pull bar, I'm getting the last bolt tightened up. And so now the hitch is on, it's tight, it's secure. All it needs now is a pin and a ball and some wiring. It'll be ready to pull a trailer. And if we look deep underneath, the gas tank that started this project still looks new. So I picked up a truck last night, $525. Here's the title. It is a 1995 Z71 Silverado 1500. The only catch, it's kind of a big deal. The engine is in the bed. I had to decide whether to get it running or just flip it. I feel like I got a really good deal on it. Yeah, it's missing a tailgate. And this is pretty much how it showed up. I just took the shot back to the toolbox. I'm gonna wash it up. It's got some car parts on the inside. I'm gonna put those in the toolbox. But not a bad looking truck. And if they have scratches, you don't have to worry about them getting scratched. Now from what I hear, the whole front end's been rebuilt, except for one pitman arm on the left side. It's got all new front end. Transmission was fine, transfer case was fine, rear end was fine. I guess the brakes were good. They were driving about a month ago at the beach, got some sand in the engine. There's still some sand on the floorboard too. 256,000. Just 250,000 miles.